The flag, WZFG. Mandy George is here with us, and Mandy was one of three candidates for two city commission posts open in West Fargo. One of the incumbents decided not to run, and so that meant there would be one newcomer for sure. And after the voting had been counted on Tuesday, Mandy George actually the top vote getter in the race for West Fargo City Commission, and she is with us here now. Mandy, I want to say congratulations. I guess it's not official yet, but taking a look at the numbers here, you've got a pretty big lead, and the number you want to get is the person in third place. You want to have the margin there, and you've got a good margin on everybody. So we'll wait with the official spike the football, but so far you got to be feeling pretty good.
I feel really good. Yeah, I'm just so thankful to have received as much support as I got, and I'm very humbled. I just want to do a really good job for West Fargo.
Why do you think your message struck a chord with people in West Fargo?
You know, when I was talking to people, the thing people were most frustrated with was special assessments and the high cost of property taxes. So I think that's really what struck a chord with people. And I have pledged to my voters that I'll vote no to any new special assessments that come up. And I just think people really, really appreciate that.
So doing this, not having a political background, and going through all this, what did you learn about a political campaign? Not that like this campaign season would be anything to build a textbook off of because everything was so bizarre, right?
Right.
But what did you learn about campaigning and running for public office that maybe you couldn't have known before you actually did it?
You know, at the city level, it was a lot more work than I honestly expected because, you know, in the past I've gone to vote, you see a name on the ballot and you've probably seen some signs and you don't realize all the other work that goes into it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's been 6 months of, you know, constant meetings and interviews and writing questionnaires and studying, and it's a ton of work, a ton of money. So it's a lot more work than I expected, but I'm glad I put the time in, and it's been a huge learning experience.
Is there, I love your story, and in having you in here a few weeks back and learning a little bit more about you, I just think that you gave a lot of people a voice that maybe felt like, you know, people like me haven't necessarily always been reflected in their process. Single mom, female, someone who isn't who isn't a member of the establishment, kind of an outsider. I just think a lot of people saw something of themselves in you, and politics is part of that too.
Absolutely. You know, I think I'm super relatable with people. I'm just a regular mom in the community. I'm nobody special, and I just, you know, people see me at different activities with my daughter, and they know me from, you know, swimming and gymnastics and dance and all the activities, and I'm just, you know, just one of the moms in the crowd, and I think it was really cool because, a lot of people are just like, oh, hey, she's one of us, you know.
That probably makes you easier to talk to then for people to relate to, and just, you know, if they see you at, you know, wherever, the grocery store, hey, you know, I'm kind of concerned about this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd agree with that. I think I'm really approachable, and so many people have reached out and wanted to talk to me just about whatever issue. So I think it's been great. Yeah.
Mandy, going back to you talked about your commitment is to vote no on any new special assessments. Well, if a special assessment comes, it's usually because there's a need. We got to pay for something.
Yep.
So we don't have the special assessments paying for that. Are we going to increase taxes? Or I wouldn't say I don't live in West Fargo, but I've said, so, you know, either we have the funding, we raise the taxes to get the funding, or we don't do the project, I would imagine is what you come down to.
Well, you're right. And that's why a lot of people say they do continue to vote for specials is because they're like, well, what else are we going to do? But you know, the majority of communities don't special assess the way that we do. And we can come up with better options and a better way to do it that I think is more fair. I think first off, we need to look at cutting spending in areas that, you know, we just can't afford right now. We need to focus on, you know, renewing our infrastructure. So cutting spending, first of all. Then I think looking at, you know, taking sales tax dollars, and if we actually get prairie dog funds and directing those funds directly towards infrastructure. And I've also proposed what I would call an infrastructure fee instead of specials, because you're right, it does have to get paid for, and if we don't have enough city money, how are we going to do it? And so I've brought up an idea of, you know, maybe each household would pay, you know, $20 or $30 a month or something along those lines that would go directly into an infrastructure fund. And, you know, some people are like, well, it's another tax. I think it would be better than being special assessed, because I think it would actually cost less money in the long run. It would be more fair across the community, and it would mean that certain people wouldn't get stuck paying, you know, $20,000 for a project where somebody else pays nothing. It would even it out against throughout the community.
And if you start doing that before you actually need the money,
yes,
you have a chance to build a bit of a nest egg there.
Exactly.
Rainy day fund.
Yes, that is my plan exactly. Yep.
And some of the assessments have been basically approved but not assessed yet. So at some point, you're going to have to be able to deliver the message to people, hey, this was done before I got here. I don't have much to do with that, right? So you're going to have to try to find a way for people to say, hey, I'm not going back on a campaign promise, right? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's going to be really tough, and I'm sure that will come up because after they approve it and then the project's done, then they vote to send it to the Special Assessment Committee where they divvy it out. But, and this has come up in the past where the commissioners are like, hey, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. It was already approved. So I know that will come up again, unfortunately.
How do you now continue to build? Like you've apparently won, and I just looked at the numbers again. You got about an 800 vote lead on the third place person, about 300 on second place Mark Simmons, incumbent coming back in. But how do you now maintain contact with all these people that you met? You made promises to them. You said, hey, I'll stand by you. How do you stay connected to them so you don't kind of get in your own little world going from your home to city commission meetings and back and you kind of forget about connecting with them? How do you do that to stay in touch with them?
So I'm super active on social media, and that has been how the majority of people have been contacting with me. I mean, after Tuesday night, I got literally hundreds of messages from people, and it has been great. Most of them were just congratulations, but I had several people that did call me with issues, or message me, and they're just like, hey, can you get together with lunch or whatever? I want to talk about this or that,
Yeah,
hey,
you'll get some free lunches out of this deal now.
Well, I can't say that. You can't accept bribes.
You can't?
So
okay, so you got to pay for yours.
You.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so I didn't mean to interrupt you there. But
no, that's okay.
Yeah, so the point is just to stay, the social media helps you do it, be out in the community, make sure that you stay connected. Your ideas, this on special assessments and other things, how do you think that will go with the other people that are on the commission already? Have you had those conversations to say, hey, are we going to get along? Are you going to be the outsider who thinks she knows everything and be hard to work with people? How's that going to go?
Yeah, you definitely bring up a good point there. I've talked to both, Eric, Brad, the mayor. I've talked to all of them personally. I know, Eric isn't a big fan of special assessments, but I think he kind of doesn't know what else to do, which is why he keeps voting for them. The mayor, I know, doesn't like special assessments either. So again, I think, if we were able to come up with another plan, I think it would be easier for them to vote no, because they know they don't want to stop progress, which I don't either. But yet, special assessments will never go away unless we vote no, and that's the problem. Is they aren't taking a hard enough stance to make a difference.
Okay. And I know Fargo's talking about the same thing. So it's going to be interesting to see this kind of metro-wide conversation. Mandy, great to have you in. Thanks for stopping by. And we'll wait to say congratulations, but our heart's on this one, and can't wait to see what the next few years looks like. Congrats on the campaign you ran and the good work you've done so far.
Thank you so much. Thank you both for having me here.
You got it. Mandy George.
You too.
We'll still call her a candidate, but it's looking really good. We'll know more on Monday when the canvassing board meets in Cass County, and we'll have some official news probably then. 7:33, Need to Know Morning Show. Short break for us. When we come back, weather and a visit with Dave Hughes running for congressional.